Hey, this is unscripted, but just pointing out some things that I've noticed, some correlations between India, Egypt, and potentially Mesopotamia. So here we have the cosmic dance of Shiva, and we have these objects here, these symbols. So you can see two trails and two circles. Now, if we go to Egypt, Akhenaten in particular. So here's Akhenaten's mural. We see these same things. Yeah, you see them here. I think that's Nefertiti or Akhenaten's here. I think there's one coming down here. So if we go back to Shiva, in fact, I'll take those highlights off so you can see how they look on the regular mural. If we go back to Shiva, you see there's, the same things. There's always two of them. So there's two of them there, two of them there, two of them there. Akhenaten. Again, here we have these things coming off. One, two. Now we see one there. There's definitely two there on Akhenaten. We have the Aten up here, but this mural is unfortunately broken. A lot of stuff of Akhenaten was broken. But we go to Mesopotamia now. This is Enki. Now, this being here, you see two of these things with circles, and this looks like some sort of propulsion. The wings depict that this being is capable of flight and maybe came down. This being's come down from somewhere. And these two things is like they're like a primitive version of these because you have the circles at the end, So this symbol means something. The ancient people were trying to tell us something with this symbol. And furthermore, with Egypt, the Aten here, a lot of Egyptologists say that that's a sun disk. I mean, come on, it's not a disk; it's a sphere. And the Egyptians knew that the Earth was spherical, so all these flat Earth people, they're fucking stupid. You measured the shadow of an obelisk at one place and another place at the same time. You determine there's curvature of the Earth. You can even determine, measurements of the Earth as well. And it seems that Akhenaten knew that the sun was a sphere because this is supposed to represent the sun or possibly light, and that's what I'll get into in a moment. Also, with Mesopotamia, we have multiple-headed gods here. So we've got two-headed gods, and in India, you have like multiple-headed gods. Here's four-headed Brahma. So this symbol is very important, and it means something significant. Maybe it's like an umbilical cord, symbolizing like an umbilical cord or flight or something out to space or somewhere that's not the Earth. Because, like, for it to appear in India and Egypt. On divine beings, and Shiva is said to come from Shiva Loka, a different planet. Like many Hindu gods, they have their own planet. Krishna Loka. Loka means planet. In Hinduism, there's many different planets: the hellish planets, the heavenly planets, the non-physical planets. Brahma Loka, so Brahma's got his own planet. So it's unmistakable that these mean something, and that it was depicted in multiple places in the ancient world. And now going back to the Aten, what's to say that the Aten, because Akhenaten was apparently heretical, saying that it's the Aten that gives life, and they say, oh, that's a sun disk, and come on, it's not a sun disk, it's a sphere, some sort of orb, flying orb. And here we see giving offerings to the Aten. Again, it's a sphere, it's not a disk, it's not a sun disk, it's a sphere. They knew that the sun was round, spherical like the Earth. If it does represent the sun, they knew the sun was spherical. As above, so below. So, the old thing. Here they're giving some sort of plants or something, and that grows life. But one thing I'll mention, this could represent light itself, not necessarily the sun, but light. Because if you look at this mural, even though it's broken from some bastards who've broken it, you can see on the right hand side there's actually a pillar that runs down. So there's another one of those things at the bottom, but two there, which is the same as Shiva's cosmic dance. But you see a pillar, and on the other side there may have been a pillar. You see there's running there, but it's all broke. Some cunt has broke it, or it may have just been regular damage, But then the Aten is there, so this may symbolize that the Aten here, the light, is inside a temple within somewhere. And again, this looks pretty close to home. There's like some sort of roof there, maybe, And if we go to the Temple of Dendera. Temple of Hathor, Dendera. So this is Temple of Hathor. What are these? This is said to be Menit Necklace. This is said to be a necklace by Egyptologists. This is not a necklace. Come on, the necklace symbolizes this. Now these are what look to me like Baghdad Batteries. If you don't know what Baghdad Batteries, this is an artifact that was found in Baghdad, which is ancient Sumeria, and it consists of these components. Copper tube, iron rod, and it was sealed by asphalt, so there was an asphalt stopper. And these are well-known out of place, so-called out of place artifacts. And you look at the color of these, and there's three main components, and you go back to the Temple of Hathor. What are these? You've got all the layers there, and you've got cables coming out of them going into this device. You have the sphere. Representing what? Light. Aten. The Aten, maybe. It could be representing light, and a lot of people think that it does represent light. So this is in the same mural in the same temple. The same temple, just slightly down the other side of the wall. Same temple. So here we have so-called light, a light bulb. Now we see here this figure and this figure. Now on this image it's cut off, but this figure looks like he's grounded. So he's got some sort of so-called tail. He's wearing a suit. It's like a protective suit, I think. These are like, positive, negative, and there's a warning here. This is a warning in hieroglyphs. This is actually like, life or death situation. And he's wearing a suit. Come on, it's a suit. But it's hard to find the full mural, but if you look at some videos, you can find here, there's somebody just behind this person holding a staff. Whatever this thing is, what Egyptologists say this is a tail, but this being behind is holding some sort of staff connecting to that tail as if it's grounding the person. So to me, that's symbolizing grounding. So this person is being grounded to start this machine or device. And furthermore, another connection to Akhenaten. This being here who's holding up the light. Again, these are anthropomorphized. So this is saying it's live. See these hands? It's like this means it's alive. Whatever this object is, it's alive. This is alive, and it's got the sphere of the Aten on the head. Now, if you look at this mural from Akhenaten, again, we've got these things, two of them. This is depicting, I think, some of Akhenaten's family or descendants, but again, it's the same sort of people. Elongated skulls, two of these things. You have the Aten at the top, but a lot of it's missing. Some cunters, hacked that off. And whoever that is, they should feel ashamed of themselves. But now we have this being here. This is what's interesting to me. This being here is anthropomorphizing something, and it's the same here. But in this mural, we can kind of just about see there's rays of light coming off, like the Aten is inside this person. So up here is the Aten, the main sphere, and down here is like a smaller version of the Aten. And we can see, look, the hand is saying, look what I've created, or look at this technology. And it's a shame that most of this is missing, because this would probably tell us what is really going on, but it's gone, or it's in some private collectors, it's either gone or in private collections. But there's definitely something here. Here's a wider version of the Baghdad Battery part of the Temple of Hathor. And we see somebody offering them the Baghdad Battery. It's like an offering of the technology. It's like, here you go. And then from this, we see the large version of it, an array. So they've made an array to make a lot of energy. Again, a sphere. This is the hieroglyphs. You can't see it much there, but there's a zigzag inside that. Maybe see on the other one. Yeah, there's like a zigzag there. It can represent water, energy, but it all connects. And again, it's well known that Egypt had trade with Mesopotamian regions, they're pretty close in the ancient world. Both of them used the blue of lapis lazuli in the eyes of many statues. So the eye of Horus uses the blue lapis lazuli. They had trade. They got that from the Afghanistan mines, in fact. It's nowadays called Afghanistan, but back then it was ancient Mesopotamia. So they were trading, and if there were Baghdad batteries found in those regions, these things, surely the Egyptians would have known that technology and it would have appeared there. But again, this is all connected, so I'm just pointing this out, that this is the first time I've noticed the connection of the cosmic dance of Shiva. These things mean something serious, and like I say, they're depicted on Shiva, the cosmic dance of Shiva, as well as Pharoah Akhenaten, Amenhotep IV. Now let me take that thing off. got it inverted, yeah. There. And again, like I say, most Egyptologists call this a sun disk or whatever. It's not, it's a sphere, come on. It's definitely depicting the sphere, and again, pointing to this being, anthropomorphizing the Aten. It's alive, there's got the rays, it's just a smaller version of the Aten. And then if we go back to Dendera, there it is, with the sphere on the head. It's not a disc, it's a sphere. That's why it's coming out. So yeah, I don't think anybody's made those connections before, so I just thought, point them out. It just came to me from watching a video regarding Shiva, Indian space program, etc. Shiva Lingam being a design component in the Indian space program, So what do people think this is? It's definitely something. Show you one more time. So, cosmic dance of Shiva, Akhenaten. Again, we have multiple heads in Mesopotamia, multiple heads in India. So the most ancient, the most prehistoric, so-called myth religion incorporates these things from Egypt to India, Mesopotamia, and ancient technology. Here, the Baghdad Batteries to Dendera, and we see it even being offered to them. Here's your Baghdad battery. Oh, thank you. We're going to make this. And again, I'll just mention again, Egyptologists, academics would say this is a Menit necklace. It's a necklace. It's not a fucking necklace. The necklace represents this. It's the other way around. Like, you wear an Ankh, If you see a pharaoh holding an Ankh, are they holding a necklace? No. Just because somebody wears a necklace of an Ankh, which is this, the Ankh, if somebody wears a necklace of an Ankh, it doesn't mean that the Ankh is a necklace. So, other Egyptians wore a necklace of this. It doesn't mean that this is a necklace, does it? No. It means that the necklace symbolizes whatever the fuck this is. This is a device. This is a machine, okay? Don't be stupid.